So what is 3 or R of contracting? What is meant by 3R? Okay, these 3R are: one, it is the responsibility, reimbursement, and the risk. Okay, so the meaning of 3 R's of contracting. Okay, don't confuse between the 3 R's of contracting, and they might be asked about the R's of project management. Okay, so that is a different one. So here we are talking about the 3 R's of contracting. Now, what is mean by contracting? Definition of contracting. What is the contractor? What is the subcontractor? That we seen in the last lecture. Now here we will see about the contracting types. Okay, so one is the responsibility, means the person who is taking the contract, then there have some responsibility towards the work of that contractor. Means once he is doing he take the contract, it means everything is done or do by that contractor only. There is no responsibility of the owner, but yes, it is depend on what type of the contract it is. On that basis it is depend, because many times it will give the lump sum contract. Lump sum contract means, or turnkey contract means what? It is directly we hand over each and everything to the contractor, and we pay for them. We pay for that. Okay, it means, say if I want to establish the chemical plant, a chemical process plant, then I say okay, that this is my requirement, this is the technology, this will be the turnovers per year, per day, whatever it is. Okay, and this is the unit. Okay, this is the location, and for that one let me know what is the price. So the different contractor, they are quoted their prices, and then the owner is choose which is the best one. Okay, the lowest price and the highest technology, and the quality and quantity too. Okay, so on that basis he choose it, and now there is no work of the owner, because everything is that the work is to be completed by only contractor, because it is their responsibility, whose a contractor's responsibility. The another term is the reimbursement. What is reimbursement? This reimbursement is purely it is related to the contractor, because many times what happen when we take a contract, sometimes the owner is not properly defined what exactly the work or the activities to be carried out for this particular task. Now in such cases contractor may not be know some unknown things, and when he executing that part, that time he realize yes, this is also be included, but he is not quoted that price in that time. So what he did, he just reimbursement whatever be the amount he is paid for that particular things, and which is not included in the what we call in the contract signing. That time he just want to reimburse that money, means he want to just take that money from the owner, and again obviously there is a certain clause, and on that basis he is just claiming for the amount. Okay, so this is about the reimbursement. Now what do you mean by risk? Risk is what? Obviously the risk is taken either by the owner as well as by the contractor, because many times though there is a legal things are done, we are doing everything, we are legally writing the signing the documents and all other things, we have making the contracts and the bond on the bond papers and all, we do the all the procedure whatever it is required in the contractor. But yes, still there is a certain types of the risk. Okay, so when they are executing the plan, that time maybe sometimes the contractor go away from the just really just leave it that contract in between and go away from it. Okay, or sometimes the owner are not able to give the amount to the contractor as per the contract what he did. So yes, but yes, there is some type of the risk it is. So let's one by one we will elaborate the things about it. So here the three types of the 3 R's of contracting. One is the responsibility, reimbursement of, and the risk. So let's first we talk about the responsibility. Now the maximum time when it is in a contracting or the contractor, maximum responsibility is given to the contractor. That's why we are giving a contract. Why? Because we don't want to work out for that task or any project, because we don't have that much the resources, we don't have that much manpowers, and for that one what we do, even we don't know the technical things or the technology of it, And for that one, definitely it is to be better to give the contract. Just like, for example, the construction of the home. Now we know that there is a columns required, the beams required, the wall required, windows, door, and other things to making that to construction of the home. But though we know each and everything, but we are not an expert in that one. Okay, we don't know what is the quantity to be taken. We don't know how to just measuring the things, and where to apply the beam, where to make the column, and all other things. We don't know what type of the bar we use, what is the diameter of the bar, because that is the part of technical one, and each and everyone is not able to learn the things. For that one, what we do, instead of we are working for or we are constructing a home by ourselves, we are given the contract to the contractor, and he is an expert in that one, and then he quoted the price. Now it is depend on what type of the quoting it is. Okay, if let's say that your lump sum means you just want a ready possession home. When you want a ready possession home, then he is say that yes, in that home these are the things to be there, means he work on the column and beam, he work on the wall, he work on the door, each and everything, whatever the things is required, as per the requirement it will be quoted to you. But many times what happen, we just want to just make the beam, column, walls, and the structure is ready, and the remaining furniture part will be another person's to work, or maybe we ourselves to be work on that one. The electrical fittings, that is again another contractor that we can use, or it might be ourselves we are looking for that particular things. Okay, for the designing and for the architecture, definitely we will work on it. Now, if you whole and soul give the contract, then it is a ready possession home that you will get. Just to open, take a key and open the door. Another thing is that instead of that one, the technical support is taken by the contractor, means his manpower use, equipments use, but material we are providing. In the previous case, what happened? Everything is done by that contractor. But in another case, what? Though we are giving the lump sum or some fixed rate, means we say that we want a 600 square feet home. Okay, this is the designing, and you have to do that. And for that one, we are giving you the material. We provide the material. We provide the steel. We provide the cement. Whatever be the things which is required, that we will provide. Only you have to use your resources, either man resources, equipments resources, machinery resources. You have to use that one. Okay, so that is also the one type of the contract. So yes, we can say it is different, but accordingly the responsibilities are changed. Now in the first case, whatever the example I have taken, that is a ready possession home, and one is the what we call, we only the technical support we have taken. Now in the ready possession home, the whole and so responsibility to the contractor, means he has to work about the scheduling, he do the technical specification, the drawings he has to done, then special conditions, whatever be the it is to be done by him, and the responsibility matrix, WBS, everything he just work out in it, and we want only the ready position home in this time period. Say within a 1 year, I want a ready position home, and these are the agreement between the parties. So here the more and more responsibility is obviously the 100% is the responsibility to the of the contractor, that he has to work each and every part of it, and then within a time period he has to complete the things. Okay, so this is a responsibility. Now, what is the responsibility of the owner? There is no responsibility. Only he is to observe the things, and as per the time period, whether that is going the progress is going on or not. Okay, in between he has interrupt the things if it is not as per the specification, but otherwise the more responsibility is towards the contractor. Okay, but in another case, we are supplying the cement, we are supplying the materials, whatever the material is required for construction of the home. In that case, contractor is only working or giving a support of technical and the manpowers and the machineries, but the material to be supplied by the owner. Now here there is a divide the responsibility of the work between the owner and between the contractor, because the contract we are just have the agreement or the contract between that one, the contractor is that he just provides the technical support, a manpower and machineries, and the remaining part to be supplied by us, whether it is any utilities, whether it is a water, whether it is a electricity, whether you require any type of the material. So as per the specification, he said that we want cement 100 number of bags, so you have to provide the 100 number of bags. If he want a steel bar of 1 ton, then we supply the 1 ton steel bar to him. Okay, and then he make a structuring of it. Now in this case, it is our responsibility to give the material to him, as well as to watch the things, because many times what happen when the contractor say that we want 100 number of bags of cement, then we have to again think, does it require 100 number of bags? Now it is our responsibility, otherwise he will take a extra bag from you. So the responsibility of the owner get changed. It is more responsible owner as well as the contractor too. Okay, so these are the some situations to be carried occurred, and there is a shifting of the responsibility depend on what type of the contract you are or the agreement between the two parties. Okay, so whether we, as we say that it is in a turnkey type, or it is some lump sum type, or it is some fixed type, or it may have the atom rate variable. So whatever that is the various types of the contract. So accordingly, the responsibility of the contractor and the owner get changed. Okay, if you see one of the type that I say that about the process designing, if you are constructing the process plant, now the process designing, who is responsible for the process designing? If you give the contract of process designing to the contractor, then it is of the responsibility of the contractor as well as the owner. Okay, if there is a equipment supply, okay, that is one of the example, that equipment supply, we are asking the vendor to supply the equipments. Now we give the specification, we give the designing part of it, and now they have to supply. So more responsible is what? It is to the vendor, that contractor, to supply it. Okay, so responsibility continuously shifting on the basis of what type of the what is the scope of the work. Okay, whether it is a process designing, whether it is a detailed engineering, whether it is a equipment supply, if it is a commissioning type, or it is a project management type. Now if it is in a project management, then definitely we have to work in on it. Project management means the owner is responsible, the contractor is we are not say the contractor is responsible, but yes, a project management, in that one the owner is responsible and the project manager is responsible. So they are taking the responsibilities of it, and the contractor, he is just working on work on the execution part of it. Okay, so this is all about we call talk the responsibility. Okay, then the another term, it is the second type. So we here first we call the R covers issues like what to parcel out to the contractor and what to retain. It means what are the things to be given or telling to the contractor, and what are the things to be retained. It is not to be disclose the things. How to define the work of parcel so that the contractors know their scope precisely, and there is not overlapping, undefined, unallocated or ambiguous work areas. Because here when we are giving the responsibility, that time you have to define a work and task. It means the clear cut mention that you have to work this one, you have to work this one. This is your responsibility, this is your responsibility, like this one. What are the relevant performance parameters for fulfill of which contractor must be assumed responsibility? It means sometimes each and everything we are not right in the contract. So many times the contractor has to just define, or he has to just assuming the thing so that it can be work out. Okay, so that is the responsibility we can say. Another type of 3R contracting, it is a reimbursement. Now this reimbursement is more important to the contractor rather than the owner. Now what is the reason behind it? Why it is more, this term is more important to the contractor? Because if he take say the whole contract, okay, and in between some of the clause is not disclosed by the owner, and when he is executing, that time he realize, or yes, this is to be included in our contract, but unfortunately because of the some reasons We are not include. But yes, the costing for doing that one, it is too much more the pricing, or it will be increase the prices of the project. So what he do, he just do take a reimbursement from the owner. But for that one, he has to mention the clause, because again he has to mention, if you want something extra, then you have to pay for this. Just like for example, I am giving the example of the again the construction of the home. Now when you are giving the contract to the contractor about the lump sum, just complete that home, construction of the home, that is okay. But in between, you found that I need another extra room nearer to the some one part, and then you say you have to now just do that part, and within the same area is okay, but only the small changes is there. Now the contractor think about how much costing I needed for to completion of that part, whatever it is, say a new one. Now in this case, he told to the owner that yes, I will do that changes, but for that one you have to pay me, because in that one there is need extra charges and extra money to be put it in that one, so that or the resources I have to use, and because of that one the extra money is paid for the workers and the machineries, and for that one you have to give me extra money or extra charges apart from your fixed cost. Okay, means there is a certain clause that we have put it, so that we can, the contractor can be reimbursed the money which is he invested, or which is he just put it in it. Okay, so that is we call it is the reimbursement of the things. Okay, and in this case, in the reimbursement, it is very important that we have to recover the money. Otherwise you take the contract, say of 20 lakh rupees to construction of the home, and then you realize because of the some changes by the owner, the costing is much more higher than this one by 1 lakh 2 lakh rupees extra. So in this case we are making the clause so that we can the contractor can get the amount from it. Okay, so that is we call the reimbursement. In the reimbursement, there are the different types of the reimbursement. We talk about it. So this is the second R of the contract. It is more important to the contractor than the owner. So let's look types of the reimbursement. Okay, so just like when we there is doing a contract between the two parties. So let's see first, if it is in the reimbursement type, then what are the types of the reimbursement? The one is the lump sum contract. Lump sum contract means turnkey project. It means you have to go, just take a key and open the door and go to the home. Okay, lump sum contract. Another type is the cost plus contract, item rate contracts, convertible contracts, and the hybrid contracts. What are the types of the reimbursement? It is lump sum, cost plus, item rate, convertible, and hybrid type contracts. Now each and every one have a different definition of it. Just like for example, in the lump sum contract, it may have the lump sum contract, or it is a negotiated lump sum contract. Now when we talk about the lump sum contract, it means the whole and sole amount to be given or quoted by the contractor. It means you have to build a 600 square meter home, or for that one, say 20-25 lakhs will be the costing of it. Just like when we buy the apartment. Okay, in that case, definitely when we buy the flat from the apartment, from that case they give the lump sum amount to you. They say this is the amount of the flat, or this is the amount of the house. Okay, they just give the lump sum amount. Okay, clear cut, they say this is the square feet area, and accordingly you have to pay this one. No need to pay extra, or no need to pay less than that one. Okay, so this is what we call it is the lump sum contract. Second is the cost plus contract. Now what is cost plus? In this cost plus, there is again we can divide it this cost plus contract. But yes, it is on depend on whether you are providing the service, whether you have to supply some equipment or some material, or it is a turnkey project. Okay, now cost plus contracts here is what they decide the area, they decide what type of the work it is, and on that basis they charges the things. So there is also the different type of the cost plus contracts. Definitely we will see later what exactly the cost plus contracts and what are the types of it. Item rate contracts. What do you mean by item rate contract? It means how much quantity of the material, equipments, or any item that you are supplying to the owner or to the big contractor. So that is depend on the item rate. Means the if you purchase, say in again I would like to give the example from the flat. Okay, so if you purchase the flat and in that time you say we require 3 to 4 fans in our home. Now they say for this case you have to pay per item. Okay, so this is we call it is a item rate contracts. It means if you have to build up say the 100 square meter 100 square feet area room, for that one this will be the price. And if you have to build up say 200 square feet area, then you have this is the price. So on the basis of the say the per square meter or the per square feet we are buying the flat. Okay, so like that one it is called a atom rate one. Okay, the fourth one is the convertible contracts. In this one, the work on the cost plus basis still scope of work can be defined and later converted to the lump sum. It means initially we say on the basis of the cost plus contract, and then after once that is over, then we will say it is a lump sum one. Okay, that is depend on the what type of the contract it is. With the help of the example, definitely we will look about it. Then the hybrid contracts. The hybrid contracts is what? It is a combination of the lump sum and the cost plus. Okay, so it is a combination of the lump sum and the cost plus that will give the hybrid type of it. Okay, in detail we will see about what exactly the things it is in that types of the reimbursement. Okay, you just remember these are the 5 types of the reimbursement. First, lump sum contract. So it can be divided as lump sum and the negotiated lump sum. Now, what is the difference between these two? When we say the lump sum, it means a fixed price arrive at a way of competitive bidding. It means the the quote price of the contractor is fixed. Okay, and he say that this is the price, and you if you want to the purchasing the things, then this will be the quotation price. So that is the lump sum. In that one, as per the specification, as per the technical things, everything is mentioned there, and you have to pay this one. Just like a ready possession flat or ready possession home, it means it is a lump sum amount. This is the lump sum amount of it. So whatever the things is there, it is these are the things are available, the amenities, whatever it is, and you just give me this amount. That is lump sum. Negotiated lump sum means here there is a certain scope of negotiating the fixed price. Okay, so with the contractor selected on the consideration other than the prices. So in certain cases we can make a negotiation. Just like the in the amenities, many times the contractor or the builder, they are say that you get the fans, light, you get the AC, or you get the filter, water filter and all. But many we say that we don't want that one. We don't want any type of fan, any type of lighting, because we want our own. So that time what he do, he has to negotiate the things, and he just minus that part and the remaining to be quoted. So that is what we call it is a negotiating type. Same thing happened with the process industry plant and all in the project too. Many times we give the wholesale lump sum, or many times we have some part which is we want to negotiate with him. Then the cost plus contract. Now what is cost plus contract? It is a cost plus percentage fee, cost plus fixed fee, cost plus with the guaranteed maximum, and the cost plus with the or the fixed rate contract. Now first, if we see the cost plus percentage fee. Now what is this fee? The fees will be to be quoted for the service, and in this case they are counting like actual man hour into the rate. It means if the contractor is providing the workers or the laborers, now he is quoting the quotation on the basis of how many actual man hour that you want, or actual man hour. Let's say for a 8 hours he is paying a 250 for the labor for the 8 hour work. If the contractor pay a 250, it means a per person per labor he is quoted a 250 rupees for 8 hours, and accordingly whatever be the manpower that you want, accordingly he charges to you. Same thing is for the machinery. If one machinery, definitely it is not possible to everyone have the machineries which is applicable for there. Okay, just like a JCB. For the just fitting out the things, for that one we have used the JCB. And say JCB rate is what? How he quoted? The contractor who is providing the JCB is quoted that per hour I required the 500 rupees. Means whatever be the work is your doesn't matter for me, but when I started my machinery, and if it is 1 hour is over, then you have to pay for that. Means if it is 8 hours, then you have to pay 8 hours into the 500. That will be the cost. So whether the work is done or not, that is not a matter. Okay, so this is, we call it is a cost plus percentage fee. Okay, in another case it is a supply, whether you have to supply the equipments, then it can be costing on the basis of the equipment cost, which is the actual one, and some agreed percentage fee for the service. It means sometimes we are taking the machinery, okay, and many times the or any type of gadget it is okay. So let's consider the machinery. Now they say that this is the cost of actual machinery, but for the fitting purpose and for services you have to pay extra the percentage of this one. Means if you buy a TV at your home, which having the the price is 20,000, and for the erection of the TV or for the fitting of the TV you have to pay a 1,000 extra, a 10% extra, then you have to pay accordingly to 2,000. Okay, like this one. So this is, we call it is a cost plus percentage fee. Okay, another is a cost plus fixed fee. So here in this case what happened, we have to just give taking the percentage. Means if whatever be the price of the equipment into the percentage, 5%, 10%, 20%, that will be the extra fees. It is quoted. In the second case, cost plus fixed fee. It means this is the cost of the machinery, and for the erection or for the commissioning, this will be the fixed cost. Means just like you buy a TV of 20,000 rupees, and he say for the mounting of the TV on the wall you have to pay 500 rupees, or fitting of the TV you have to pay 500. So that is the fixed one. It is not changed whether you buy a 20,000 rupees TV or you buy a 25,000 TV, 25,000 rupees TV. The cost doesn't matter. The matter is what? For fitting or for mounting that TV on the wall, you have to pay 500. It is a fixed one. Okay. And this is the, we call it is a cost plus fixed fee. And obviously for the contractor also doing the same thing. If he is a vendor or he is a supplier of the equipment, then he say, this is the quoting of, this is the price of the machineries. And for the erection of the machineries, for the commissioning of the machinery, this is the fixed charges, or this is the percentage of the erection and the commissioning one. Okay, that is the different. That is the another extra. So that is we call the cost plus fixed fee. Then it is a cost plus with the guaranteed maximum. So in this case, what happened? It is on the basis of the reimbursement to the contractor is on the basis of the cost plus and the percentage fee or the fixed fee, such that the total price does not exceed the predetermined amount. It means just like when you go to uh, in a TV shop and you say that I want to 32 inches TV or I want to 40 inches TV or and all. Okay, then he say okay, no problem, you can buy this or you can select whatever you want, but for the erection and for the fitting of that one you have to pay this one. And say if it is say the 1,000 rupees, but again he say if you buy a TV up to the 40,000, if your bill is 40,000, then we are not charging extra. because it is to be included. It means if you purchase a TV of 40,000 rupees, and for that one we are not charging anything, or above the 40,000 we are not taking any type of the money for the erection, for the fitting and all. Just like if you want to buy a equipment for the process plant, which having the prices, it is quote of 5 lakh rupees. And in this case, he give the guarantee, the contractor give the guarantee, above the 5 lakh, we will not take any type of the fees. So they give the guarantee of it. And on that basis, we are making the contract. Another is the fixed rate contract. Now in the fixed rate contract, the contractor is reimbursed for his expenditure measures in days or hours at agreed rate per man hour per man day, without the total number of hours or days being fixed. Now it is what we can say, it is a contractor is reimbursing the things of his expenditure measure in days or hours. It may be measure in terms of the days or in terms of the hours. So that is a called a fixed rate contract. It means if I say that I will provide the labor to you of 10 labors for 8 hours a day. Now that is the fixed one, and this will be the quoting. This is the prices to pay for providing this much is the labors for you. Okay, and here there is no change in anything. Okay, so you have to reimburse the things on the basis of the day, on the basis of the hours. Okay, so this is we call it is about a cost plus contract. Okay, the one we talk about lump sum contract, then it is a cost plus contract. Third one, quickly we go for it, and it is atom rate contracts. Now it is easily say atom rate means depend on the what quantity you are taken. Okay, how much is the work is done, or just like we have to buy the flat per square feet. Okay, so it is on the basis of the per square feet, and accordingly that is the charge. If you buy the any type of the equipment, so if you want to buy a fans, then how many number of fans it is, accordingly he say if you buy a 10 number of fans you have this one, if you buy 20 number of one, or per atom you are quoted it. Okay, that is we call atom rate contracts. Then convertible contract. Now what is convertible contract? In this case what happened, work on work on a cost plus basis till the scope of the work can be defined. Many times what happen, it is unable to just know what are the things that is to be executed, what are the tasks, what are the work is there in that project. So up to the certain defined period, and if as the things is not clear the activity and the work, we are go for the cost plus basis. Okay, we go for the cost plus basis, and after that one, once we define each and everything, it is a clarity between the owner and between the contractor, then they give a lump sum amount. Okay, so that is a lump sum contract. So that is we call a convertible one. And lastly, it is a hybrid contract. Now, what is hybrid contracts? It is the lump sum plus item rate, it is a lump sum plus cost plus, or it is a lump sum plus fixed rate. Now this type of the contracts we call the hybrid types. Okay, so the combination of the lump sum contract and the combination of the atom rate, it is a combination of the lump sum plus cost plus or for the fixed rate. Okay, so that is we call it is the hybrid contracts. Okay, now the third is R is the risk. Here identification of the risk is very important to the owner and to the contractor too. So here you have to identify the risk. Okay, and for that one there are the number of questions might be there to the owner as well as to the contractor. So the one or two questions I just tell you. The one, it is, can the work be completed within a quoted cost? So this is to be asked the question what the owner is not certain about. Okay, so he has to ask the question, will the contractor stay on the job till its completion? That is also the problem. Will the contractor adhere to the time schedule? Thus it is follow the time scheduling. Okay, will the contractor rectify the defect discovered after the leaves the sense? Does the contractor understand his intent fully and interpret the contractual terms? If the relationship does not click, what can happen? Okay, so there are the number of questions to be to the contractor as well as to the owner. So they ask the questions to each other, and obviously that are the we call it is a type of the risk. Okay, this is the risk either by the from the owner side point of view or from the contract side. If it is from the contract side, then we can say, will the owner terminate his work before the completion of the same? That will be the risk to the contractor. Will the owner make the payment promptly? That is also the one of the risks to the contractor. So there is we can say, just like a responsibility, the risk is also to the contractor as well as to the owner. Okay. Yes, there are some questions that is to be there and to be asked by themselves, so that it is to be can be complete the project within a scheduling time. So this is one type of the thing, the one table, types of contract versus reimbursement. So just like if you want to do a detail engineering contract, then that time we go for the lump sum contract. If it is a project, if it is a prime contract, then we go for the lump sum plus cost plus, means it is a hybrid type. Okay. If it is supply the plus erection contract, then again we go for the hybrid one, because here we don't know how much item that we needed for that one. First we go for the fixed rate, and then we go for the lump sum type. Okay. If it is the construction and erection of the erection contract, that time we go for the item rate one. Okay. So this is or if it is for the project monitoring contract, then for the fixed rate one. So these are the some possible types of the reimbursement that is to be there in, and these are the type of the contracts it is. Okay. Type of contract means what type of the work it is or the task it is. Accordingly we have to take they take the possible types of the reimbursement of it. Okay. So this is all about the contract and the 3 R's of the contracting. Fine. Thank you.